good. And just like waiting on one. Hey guys, just while you're waiting for one more student, if you want to go into your classroom, and if you click on module 1, we're working, if you want to scroll down to, you can see it on my screen there, case study task 1 is what you're going to open up tonight. So just want to get into that. So we're waiting for the fourth student. All right, so pretty much just an overview for tonight. What we're going to do, we've just got a few questions to answer to start with. And then what we're going to do, we're going to break off into pairs. And for task 2, so what the case study is essentially is we've just got to apply the stuff that we've learned in theory workshops. We've got to apply that to a real life person. So the second task 2, is where we've just got to essentially do a pre-screening. So where we go through the induction and all the questions just with a person. So tonight we'll just do it on each other. All right. All right. So has everyone got this table here? So 1.1.
Yeah, got it up, mate.
All good. So what we'll do here, guys, we've got 3 of us here. So what we're going to do is, does everyone know how to use a chat in Zoom?
Yep.
Yep. So I'll just show it on my screen if you're not sure. So if you just like access your chat, so we've got that, it should open up to that. So what we're going to do is, and that allows you to type in there into the chat. So what we might do, just to sort of make it easier for everyone, instead of making you do all 6 of those yourself, we're just going to pretty much just do maybe 1 each, and we can share it here with everyone. So just say, for example, if Braden does the work health and safety option, he can type his answer in, and then once it's in the chat, Gus can go along and just collect it and put it into his option there. So how does that sound? Done. All right, what we might do the first one together, just so you know how we're going to do it. So the first one here is we're just looking at, before we do a pre-screen tonight, we've just got to tick off that, you're aware of what collecting information and things like that. So what we're looking for is, the first one is appropriate collection and storage of client information. So with that one, so we've got some student notes here just sort of help you guidance here. As you know, we need to write some full sentences, not just dot points. So for the first one there, so what I want you to do is put these into a full sentence here. So we put some dot points down with the first one. Information must be collected like that. So we can put down, just start with there, if you want to write down, appropriate collection of information and storage of client information is important because, so write that down to your first sentence. Appropriate collection and storage of client information is important because, and then we're just going to pretty much just paraphrase these dot points, not putting them as dot points, but we can just put them down and put it as commas in between. So I might just talk about the first one there, just as you're sort of writing into your own words there. So pretty much with collection of information, we can only collect information from a client for the purpose of helping them. So every information we collect from the client must always be, either, to have information on the gym in terms of communication, or if we want to have information how to help them for their goal, should always be for that. If we have any other purposes, so for example, if we want to have like marketing information, we must have consent, just to avoid sort of spam, things like that. Next point, just to write down, is all the information is under the Privacy Act. So we've got a responsibility to maintain this for 7 years. Just with information getting out, they're quite big on, keeping things private under the Privacy Act. So that's probably the next thing you want to put down. Just write down, we've got a responsibility to maintain privacy information. And with the storage, just write down, it's also important to maintain all client information under lock and key or under password computer. All right, so just while you're finishing that, what I might do is, Braden, do you want to do the second one there? So the fitness assessments.
Yep.
Jake, if you want to do the third one, which is the application of legal considerations.
Yep.
And Gus, if you want to do the fourth one, the duty of care.
Yep, no worries.
So I'll just have the chat open just so I can see. I'll just send a message here. I haven't actually used this chat myself, so I'll just sort of send. So we'll pretty much just do these questions together. Then I'll break it off into pairs, and we can sort of just ask the pre-screening in your partners. Yeah, that's good, Braden. So yep, first sentence there. Just repeat the question really, and then go from there. That's good. Just with the final part with the privacy, just write down it also must be kept for 7 years. Client information, it's got to be kept on file for 7 years. Actually, guys, before I forget, they've just see the last row there has got collection of storage. That's actually the same one repeated. So if you want to go ahead, just what I'm doing for Braden now, and delete that final row, you actually just right click and just press delete row, delete the bottom row. All right, so you're on the second one, Braden. So that's pretty similar, Braden. The second one, collection of client information. You've got the student notes here as well to help you, but pretty similar. You're still collecting information, but this one's more about sort of fitness assessment. So like why, why do we want to collect information? Mostly for a fitness assessment. It's mostly just sort of get information to help them towards their goal. But as you can see, dot point 2 there, it says, there can be sensitive information. So we don't want to sort of let out, they might not want to have their goals kept private with the PT, things like their body weight kept private, body fat percentage, things like that. So we've got to show respect to that sensitive information for some clients, if that makes sense.
Sweet, yep.
Yep. All right, don't forget, once you've done your response, just copy it from, so highlight your response like that, Control C, and then just paste it into the chat, Control V. Any questions with those guys? Like I said, just make sure you just put into a sentence using the dot points. Yep, Gus, that's good. So just from getting it. So if you look at my screen now, just highlight the text like that, and then just right click, copy. Actually, I didn't ask. I usually ask you guys. So Gus, I asked you last. What club you at? You're at Canberra, is it, or
Blacktown.
Blacktown? That's right. City Workers.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, the Workers.
Bray, what club you at, Bray?
I'm with Rabbits.
Nice, bunnies. And Jake?
I'm with the Swans, man. AFL.
Oh, that's right. Oh, sorry, mate. Got too many footy league players here.
Yeah, hold on.
It's good to have someone with a brain here for a change, eh?
Yeah.
How are you, Jake?
Speaking of brains, I can't put a sentence together right now. Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's fine, Braden. If you just put full stop after respect, that's good enough. That's a few sentences there. So if you just want to copy that, chuck that in. That's all probably we need for that one.
Sorry, boys.
Good.
What's that?
Oh, no, I just apologise for taking so long.
No, you're right. All good. We've only got these questions and one tonight, so that's fine. So that's all good. So do you want to just copy that? Yeah, so copy that into the chat.
Oh, did I not put it in?
Oh, actually, yeah, you did. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
I've updated it. And Luke's got his in there. Yep. So chuck those in.
Mine all right, man. I didn't.
As a PT, you're required to understand and abide by ethical code of conduct. You're required to. Yeah, look, that's the gist of it. What what that
Yes.
means is pretty much what they sort of mean by the difference between illegal and ethical is, or unethical, sorry. It just means that like you might not do something, like you might do something in a gym space which is still legal, but it's still not the right thing to do. Like, you know, ripping clients off, things like that. It might not be illegal, but you still should always, you know, do things ethically and morally, you know. So that's what they sort of mean by the legal. And technically, if you register with Fitness Australia as a PT, you do sort of got to follow this ethical code of conduct. So that's what they're talking about there. Just you guys, I'll let you guys do the last one by yourself. So the work health and safety, pretty much I'll talk about it. If you want to just paraphrase, I'll have my screen here for here anyway, but I'll paraphrase it. So pretty much work health and safety, it's just providing a safe environment free of hazards for all members and workers. You can see there on the slides there. So technically, because we're the instructors or we're the person working or in charge, so you can simply say fitness instructors are responsible. So you can pretty much just write that sentence there in the slides there, but we want to sort of start with work health and safety, or just WHS. WHS refers to fitness instructors being responsible for presenting and maintaining a safe work environment free of hazards. All right. Looks like we're pretty good. You guys all done that last one?
Yep.
Good. Yep. All right. So we'll go on to the next one. I've only put down dot points here. So we are going to have to elaborate on, because it does say explain how you can use it. So pretty much we'll do the sort of first one or two together. So I'll dictate the first one. I'll go nice and slow so you can follow. So they're just talking about here, how can you, because this whole topic is talking about how we can get to know the client, because a lot of PT is not just about, you know, how much you can squat or bench. It's pretty much if you can know the client and serve them well, you know, you can add to that experience for the client. So first thing is, especially when we meet them, having that positive communication. So pretty much here, how can we use positive communication to improve the experience? So what we're going to write down here, again, just write down positive communication can be used. So positive as your response, positive communication can be used in a variety of ways. Full stop. Positive communication can be used in a variety of ways. Full stop. So we're doing the table. Have we got Braden? You got. So this is the 1.2 table below.
Yeah. So I was just looking at the the other
Yeah. Sorry.
1F assessment that we did last week, and it's got the same table.
Has it?
Yeah. Positive
Okay.
communication, ongoing
All right.
communication.
Does it say though, like, does it say, like, is the question different though? Like, this is explaining how you can use it, or is this simply?
Yeah, so the
Let me
question
go
for
back.
this one was, as the fitness industry is very, very competitive, and then it just goes on to say, explain the following principles of the enhanced customer service experience when working with a client. Is that the same question?
On the ball tonight.
Sorry, no, I did it today because I was waiting for the video.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's right. I mean, you might find a little bit of an overlap because, as I said, the case studies where we pretty much take what we learn in the theory stuff and we apply it to a client, a real life client. So there might be an overlap. Let me actually just go back and just double check that one anyway, just while we're on to it.
I'm just thinking in terms of the answers, I might just use the same ones.
Yeah. As long as there's a full sentence there and it's all fine, it's all good. Let me just give me one sec. Actually, just while I'm finding that, guy. So, Jake, if you want to do empathy,
Yep.
Gus, if you want to do active listening, just to give you guys work to work with.
Yeah.
just while you're doing that, Braden, though, just make sure you're just changing it to fit this question, though. Because
Yeah. I'm going to
if
change
it's
it. I'm just
different,
putting them in. Yeah.
if it's a different question, it changes the whole response. Because things like, so it's saying if we can explain how you can use this. So how can you use ongoing
Okay, yep.
communication to your advantage? So what you can do is just look at the slides for this one, because I'm pretty sure the dot points that I wrote for these slides or the tutor notes
Yep.
would probably still be different. It would still be different from the ones that you wrote. So
Okay,
if you can
so
look at
go
these,
through them
if you look
and
at
just
these notes,
paraphrase those.
yeah, sort of even marry up your response with my response, and you can probably find a good response between the two.
Right.
All right, so you keep going through those. You guys do empathy if you want to chuck those in. Jake, empathy for chat. Gus, you can do the same for active listening. And Braden, if you want to chuck your ones up as well, probably know your product at the bottom as well, because you're probably a little bit ahead.
Yep.
As you're doing those, I'll just talk through them, just to explain it so you understand what we're sort of talking about here. So, positive communication generally refers to at the start. So when you first meet the client, pretty much a lot of clients when you first meet them, especially if they walk into a commercial gym, they're walking into the gym as a new client because they probably in the past have tried the services. A lot of it just goes in cycles. Like they might try a gym for a year or so and they drop out, and then they join back into another gym 3 years later, things like that. So there's a fair chance that they've generally, set goals in the past and they've failed. So it's really important, positive communication at the start, to have that, just to sort of break down any sort of stigma they have, or they might be a little bit cautious or anxious joining a gym. So really to be that positive communication at the very start. For ongoing communication, as I've said there, so the important there is make sure that they feel valued after the initial sign up. So we don't want to simply sign them up to a contract like a lot of big commercial gyms did probably about 10 years ago, where you just sign up to a contract, direct debit, and then all of a sudden you're just a number. So, we always try to have that ongoing communication, because in the long run, if we can have that sort of culture of a gym being really, engaging and stuff like that, I mean, you're going to get repeat business and word of mouth. So it's a win-win to really have that, ongoing, instead of chasing new clients all the time, if you can just look after clients you've already got, it's going to, be more beneficial through word of mouth and things like that. So that's for that one. Empathy, which is one that you're doing, Jake. Again, what I spoke about with breaking down the initial brick wall. So a lot of clients might have a lot of barriers up to start with. So if we can use empathy, is where we can sort of empathize with the client about, putting, bodies, any issues with body image, things like that. We can build their trust and rapport. So if we can get that, I've got someone else here. That's the chat, sorry. If we can get that sort of trust with the client, once we have that trust, it's like with your coaches, once you trust a coach, you're going to play for him a lot more. So we want to build that up. Active listening, which I think Gus already put in the chat here. So if you want to grab that answer there, active listening. Active listening, as I put down here, is more about a lot of clients do want to have a bit of a sounding board, for better or worse, with a PT. They might want to come in and sort of have a bit of a vent, or if they've had a hard day, they want to sort of come in and burn a bit of emotional stress off. But if you're sort of acting like you can listen to that client, then they feel respected and important. So that's important. So it doesn't matter if you're the best professor of exercise. If you can actually show respect to the client, they're going to value that a lot more, even if you're a Cert 4 trainer compared to a professor. So just having that communication is important. And the last one there is just knowing your product. So with knowing your product, it's just referring to how can you use that with customer service. So clients do come to you as a professional. So you are the professional. So same as if you went to a physio at your club, there is that sort of expectation that you are the professional. So it's important that you do know your product. But what I wrote down there as well is it's important that you do give correct and safe advice. There's a lot of advice out there, which is especially with fitness, where people are just sort of just saying stuff like that. So, it is important that you do, if you give advice, which people come to you to talk to, you've got, got to give the right advice, like that. Braden, if you've got some answers there, if you want to chuck them in the chat, just for the others to grab as well. Which one is that one, Braden?
Sorry, mate, I didn't realize I was muted. That was the knowing your product.
Know your product? Yep, sweet. You guys want to grab that one? Have you got any others you want to put up there for the team?
Yeah.
The empathy one. My Zoom's on a different computer, so I'm basically double typing.
Oh, have you got Zoom on your phone and you're typing your laptop, or what do you got?
Yeah.
That second one, it's positive communication, right? Brace?
Yeah.
How'd you go? Did you find that the answers were?
Yeah, they're a little
somewhat
bit different.
similar,
Yeah, I had to go through the
Little bit-
notes and
I-
they're a bit different.
I thought, yeah, like as I said, there is an overlap, but I thought that'd be slightly different. So that's right.
Easy.
Easy. Oh, good. We've got that. Customers active listening. Did you actually have an empathy one, Braden? If you've got one for that as well, we may as well chuck it up.
Yep.
How Swanee's going this year, Jake? I think they're going all right, aren't they?
Yeah, we're traveling all right, mate.
Lost him. What is it?
We got
Yeah.
and win that, we'll be 9-4 heading into the bye. So hopefully can grab that one, and
Sandy.
we'll be in the top 4 or 5, I think. So which is good.
Which is
Yeah.
a bit not unexpected, but like I think at the start of the year, most people were sort of not putting you in the top 4. Is that right?
Oh, no one had us in the top 8, to be honest. We had
Yeah.
start of every year the captains get together or whatever and list their top 8. And no one had us in there, so it's been good, man. Really
Now,
surprised.
what do the journalists know?
We got plenty to say.
Yeah. All right, empathy's there as well. If you want to grab that answer, or just write your own one, or change that. Just let us know, Jake, if your Zoom's playing up and we're going a bit too fast. All right. If you other two guys are sweet, the next question is pretty cruisy. You can probably just go ahead and read that. So you can see on my screen there. Next question I'll just talk about is pretty much we just got to identify that different types of clients have different needs, and also not just different needs, but just different ways we do communicate with them. So what we want you to do here is just identify that this is subjective. So what you think would be the most effective way to possibly communicate with them. So there's no sort of right and wrong answer for these ones. So as long as you simply just discuss why you've chosen that method. So for example here, I've only put down dot points here. So they do want you to discuss it. So they do want you to actually elaborate and explain why you chose that. So for example, for an older adult client, from the list along here, I've put down, I think a face-to-face discussion would actually be most suitable for them. And then we want you just to simply discuss why you think that's well, firstly, what do you think? Let's say, Braden, like if I put down face-to-face discussion would be suitable for an older adult, why do you think that would be suitable in your opinion?
Well, I think social media and stuff's a bit more new age. Same with emails; they probably don't know how to use computers and stuff. And I think face-to-face is something that they've always done. So I think they'd be more comfortable, and you'd be able to, I guess, get more out of them talking to them face-to-face.
Yeah. So pretty much exactly what you wrote there, just sort of what you said. Just put all that into a sentence there. So you mentioned about generally they might not be as suitable or as proficient with social media. Therefore, I believe face-to-face will be better for them as they feel more comfortable.
Yep.
So just put that into a sentence. Exactly what you said. Nailed it. What about you, Gus? Let's say with an athlete client, you're an athlete. What do you think? Well, I put down online via Zoom, which is what we're doing now. So why do you think
Yeah.
like Zoom might be good for an athlete?
Oh, because we're all sort of training at different times, different levels of sport we're at. So all the flexibility helps a lot for us. And then obviously through social media, emails, like we all know how to use emails and our phones and stuff like that. So it's pretty good for us.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I wrote there as well. I wrote down the schedules there. So if you did that one for that, just simply put down about the schedules being busy, allow some flexibility. I think I even wrote down that the Zoom app's on the phone these days, so you can do it on the phone easily as well if you need. And some athletes will have their Zoom on the phone and typing on their laptop, so it's pretty easy to use like that. So with that one, guys, I'll sort of let you sort of go with yourself there. No right and wrong, just sort of as long as you discuss it, explain it for each one. For older clients, I did the phone call as well. Again, older clients, sometimes they might be a beginner, especially in a commercial gym. So they appreciate, the level of personal attention, like a phone call, things like that. So if you had a brand new client, you might set a reminder on your phone the next day, just to call the client. Might take 2 minutes, but they'd really, really appreciate that, especially if they're doing one-on-one PT. It might be $80, $90 an hour. So for a 1 minute phone call, it's pretty tidy, pretty worthwhile. The other ones there, as I said, like you can probably repeat them. Like if you want to put down text messages for both female and athlete, that's fine as long as you describe it or explain it for both. I put down for email some ideas. If you want to describe it yourself, I'll put down these days work with Gmail. A lot of people have email on their phones, so it essentially works as a text message these days if they've got notifications on their phone as an email. But the benefits there for communication wise would be you can obviously send out a mass, so you can email 50, 100 of your clients at the same time. So that's pretty good communication wise. So just while you finish those off, guys, I'll just explain a little bit about task 2. So task 2 is going to be a pre-screening. So I'm guessing you guys, well, I know Braden, you mentioned that you did a workshop today. So I'm guessing that you guys either last week or this week have done pre-screening in one of your theory workshops. Is that right? Yes or no?
No, I haven't done the pre-screening yet.
I haven't done that either.
Okay, that's fine. I'll explain it all. It's pretty cruisy. It's just giving us pretty much when you go with a new client, you just sit down and have that sort of initial consultation, go through just the medical questions.
Oh, yeah, we did that I've done that with Leon, but he didn't, we're supposed to do 3 of them, yeah?
Well, that's what we're doing today.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
So you might have just touched on it in the previous workshop, about it, in a theory workshop. But yeah. So I was just wondering what your level is of knowing, about what they are and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have a sort of brief understanding. I know why we sort of do them and about the risk factor and stuff like that.
Perfect. Sweet. But yeah, as you said, today is where we do the 3 clients. So what we're going to do today, we've only got down, we're just doing 1.
Yep.
So we're going to do the athlete client. So just say, for example, I put the 2 40 boys together, like Braden, if you go with Gus, for example, to start with like Braden, you'll be the PT, and you'll be asking Gus, essentially like as if you're the PT saying, and Gus is your client.
Yep.
So asking him, you know, because a lot of it is just like when you do have new clients, it's just like a bit of a skill to sort of know how to sort of ask them the questions and sort of do it in that way. So it's good practice doing it like in this to start with. And then the other two will be female and an older adult. But today we're just going to do the athlete, so we can do it on each other here, which is handy.
Sweet.
Like that. If you guys want, actually, I'll just get on my screen just so it's up. Jake, I'm probably going to go with you. That's sweet. So I'll pair up with you, and then I'll get the two footy guys can pair up as well. So don't worry, I'm just going to explain about the task 2, but I'll be with you anyway, so don't worry if you're not listening right now. Let's get up task 2.